Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chad and EJ had a conversation in the interrogation room at the police station. Chad was curious as to why EJ hadn't released Kat yet. Chad's insane request prompted EJ to inquire as to why. Chad angrily said that he didn't need the reminder when EJ reminded him of what Kat had done to him. He acknowledged that Clyde had made the demand for Kat's release. EJ was perplexed as to why Clyde would want to assist Kat when Chad informed him about the phone contact from Clyde. Clyde wanted Kat's head on a pike, Chad explained. But he made it clear that Clyde would not have his wish. EJ questioned why Chad wanted Kat released and whether he was comfortable with Clyde keeping Abigail's remains. Chad maintained that securing his wife's remains was first, but he still wanted Kat to pay. Chad declared that he had no intention of giving Kat to Clyde. Chad's lack of a strategy for facing Clyde was criticized by EJ, who also expressed uncertainty that it would be successful. Without having to deal with Kat's blood, Chad felt certain that he could outmaneuver Clyde. EJ later told Chad that he had initiated Kat's release. EJ said that he would do everything for his family when Chad thanked him, but he cautioned Chad about it. Roman celebrated Vivian's arrest by pouring Steve a cup of coffee at the Brady pub. Roman had anticipated that she would make a great escape, but both men were pleased that she had been apprehended. Following their consultation with Roman regarding Vivian, Steve then brought up the topic with Chad. He told Roman about the occasional phone contact from Clyde and acknowledged that he was concerned about Chad. Steve wasn't certain that Chad had been honest about why Clyde had called. Admire Days, B&B, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right away, click here. Steve pondered Chad's fixation with locating Abigail's remains. He speculated that Chad may have made an informational bargain with Clyde. Steve was right to assume that Chad had been speaking in code and had consented to an unidentified demand when he recalled how his chat with Clyde had concluded. At that moment, Steve got a text message informing him that Kat had been released from prison by EJ. Clyde seemed to be getting his way, he grumbled to Roman. Kristen, Stacey Hayduke, received an ultimatum from Brady, Eric Martsolf, image source, Peacock. Kristen, Stacey Hayduke, received an ultimatum from Brady, Eric Martsolf, image source, Peacock. Brady's visit to Kristen at the DeMera estate made her smile. Kristen smiled back when he told Tate how he had just sung her praises. When Brady said, "Too bad it was all a lie," she stopped smiling. Sarah told Brady everything, so Brady begged Kristen not to pretend to be innocent. Kristen warned Brady that Sarah was unreliable because she had lied numerous times. Kristen was silent when Brady mentioned that Maggie had verified Sarah's story. Brady forced her to acknowledge that she had been pressuring Xander to turn over Titan by using the drug. Kristen objected, saying that she had nearly brought up the matter as retaliation for Sarah's falsehood that Brady was the hit-and-run driver. Brady retorted that Kristen had been lying to him for weeks. Kristen then defended herself by comparing herself to a tormented butterfly and claiming that the DeMera board had put pressure on her to prove herself. Although Kristen denied the charge, Brady thought she was motivated by selfish greed. She explained to Brady that she had done it to help him. Brady was perplexed and doubtful, but Kristen reassured him that she could give him back control of Basic Black after Kyriakis had left the company. She discussed leaving a legacy for herself, Brady, and Rachel. After that, Kristen began fervently pleading with Brady to give the three of them another chance at being a forever family. Brady declared that he would betray his family if he allowed Kristen to take over his grandfather's business. Brady then informed Kristen that if she completed the transaction, they would have no chance. Kristen took note of Brady's words and inquired as to if he was suggesting that if she gave Sarah the serum, he would try their relationship again. Brady refuted the implication but reaffirmed that if Kristen decided to pursue Titan further, he would be done with her forever. Later, when she was by herself, Kristen spoke to Stefano's image, pointing out that he might have been pleased with Brady for making her pick between love and money. She hoped that her choice had been the right one. Kate excitedly informed Philip over the phone of Vivian's imprisonment. she told Philip that Vivian had not told Philip that Victor's letter was a fake. Xander walked inside Kate's office as she boasted that no one would know. After abruptly ending her call with Philip, Kate informed Xander that she had been discussing body and soul with Leo. After dismissing the call, Xander informed Kate that he needed her assistance in preventing Philip from placing a claim on Titan. Xander was interrupted by Kate, who said she was totally in favor of her son. Kate was scolded by Xander for denying Sarah the opportunity to walk once more. Philip's exclusion from Xander's will cause the two to quarrel. Xander saw he was failing to convince Kate, so he threatened to stop Body and Soul's manufacturing unless she cooperated. He promised to cancel the show right away and purchased the streaming service. Body and Soul is going to need it even more than Sarah does, Xander declared in reference to the restorative serum. Kate called Xander's bluff by reminding him that without Titan, he wouldn't have the resources to make a business power move. Xander assured him that she would cover the cost as she glibly sent him on his way. Sarah was picking up Victoria when Philip arrived at the Kiriaki's residence. He clarified that because it was Maggie's anniversary, he had come to see how she was doing. Philip was taken aback when Sarah greeted him warmly and asked him to join her in waiting for Maggie to come back. Sarah stunned Philip by stating that she didn't hold him responsible for his behavior after he implied that he was probably not her favorite person. She confided that she was deeply troubled by Xander's willingness to sacrifice Titan. Sarah lamented even more the drastic measures Xander seems prepared to go in order to obtain the serum. By bringing up Xander's attempt on his life, Philip startled Sarah. He told her his account of events, but Sarah rejected the idea that Xander would have actually killed Philip. Philip's confirmation that Xander had pressed the trigger and that he would have been a dead man if the gun had been loaded astounded her. When Sarah expressed regret about Xander's behavior, Philip reassured her that she had nothing to regret. He acknowledged that she had good reason to be worried about Xander's unpredictable actions. According to Philip, he was merely attempting to preserve his father's legacy. The letter, he said, had persuaded him that Victor would have wanted him to fight for Titan. After saying his goodbyes, Philip left Sarah to consider his words. Afterwards, Philip came into Kate's office to inform her of his encounters with Sarah and Xander. Philip said that he could more than equal his brother's strategies when Kate warned him that Xander would stop at nothing. Philip stated that he would view it as a bonus if he could make Xander and Sarah's marriage more tense. Sarah was upset when Xander returned home. Xander objected right once that Philip had provoked him when she told him about his visit. Sarah was not interested in hearing it. She emphasized to Xander that she didn't want them to live their lives motivated by retaliation and demanded to know when he would stop seeking retribution and revenge. Brady interrupted Sarah's tirade to inform them that he had tried to dissuade Kristen from using pressure methods. Brady's efforts had been infutile, Xander thought. But they were taken aback when Brady took the bottle of serum out of his pocket and gave it to Sarah. Sarah and Xander grinned appreciatively and with relief.